So I've been watching a lot of videos of ammo funnel. One of you really did give me a fucking aneurysm, literally. But I'm not here to react to ammo funnel videos, but to give my little 2 cents, since I do believe I can hopefully give a new perspective when it comes to this topic. As my understanding of the situation goes, the developer goes to the partner saying, "Hey, we're changing this," and they say no. The developer then say, "We think this is okay, so you can help us do more in the future." Then the partners decide to make videos in retaliation. Well, not retaliation, but as a response to continuing pushing through the changes. And with those videos is where this whole outcry started to happen. Furthermore, for what I've seen offline, very few of the partners actually got to playtest any of the skills proposed in the blog, even though they communicate the changes to them. I'm just gonna assume some of them got NDAs and move on. But in general, I just think that is bad. Because I have seen this before, well, kind of. Now, to give context of why this is bad, I will use another game called GTFO. And they had a bug hunter program in which people can apply and join to play earlier rundowns and suggest changes. The thing is that whoever had the biggest amount of friends won, not really whoever had the most reasonable takes. And it basically became a tug of war of people just not even discussing their ideas, but everybody tried to gang up on you trying to shut your point down, even though yours probably made more sense. Now, I'm not saying that the partner program is like that, but if they can affect the balance changes, then it will be similar to the bug hunter program in GTFO. And when you have several content creators in a place like that, it will be kind of naive for me not to think that there isn't a lot of grouping in that place, combined on the fact that some of them didn't even play with the skill changes. You have a recipe for disaster. Aside from that, what happens if a partner likes the changes but the community doesn't? Are people gonna react the same way they did to Overkill and just burn this man to the ground, or are we just gonna roll with it? And if a partner doesn't like the change, are we gonna have videos popping every time because he doesn't like the changes and repeat this whole thing again? From my perspective, this whole system is just a mess, especially for a franchise as big as Payday, which leads me to my next point. As of right now, the only way to play with the suggested changes from the blog post is basically just modding, and even then it's heavily limited due to how Payday 3 modding works. You can only play solo, and obviously mods can be buggy. In the background gameplay, you will see me playing with the Headhunter mod made by Captain Alpha, and I will touch on that later in a little bit. But my point is, having a PTB of the game will be the most reasonable approach for Starbreeze to make. Having a public testing build will literally fix everything because there's not gonna be any misinformation. Everybody from the heister with 5 hours in the game to the heister with 1000 hours in the game can play and get a feel of those skills and formulate a more educated and informed opinion of the skill changes. Hell, you might even get a civil discussion between people discussing how these changes can synergize well with different builds, instead of this weird echo chamber game that we all playing right now, since everybody will independently express their ideas instead of believing what one person said on a video. Plus, there's gonna be a lot more conversation about the game, which is always nice, to be honest. Now that we've finished with the partner topic, let me move on to the proposed changes. Yes, I was one of those people that was looking forward to the changes, because I do believe it was better for the game. Hell, even the devs acknowledged the fact that the skill itself was cannibalizing their design, because you can't really buff any other ammo skills if you have infinite ammo on demand. Sadly, I really can only talk about Headhunter as a skill, since that's the only skill that I got the chance to play with, and Headhunter is a good alternative to Ammo Funnel. This is not a sniper skill. If you use a neuron or two, you can easily see this skill working alongside all the one-shot headshot weapons in the game. Scar, AK, revolvers, and obviously Mosconi all benefit from this skill. I've played a couple of matches with the mod on, with different weapons too, and even though you don't have true infinite ammo, your ammo economy on the first assault is pretty good. Hell, you can even go through the first assault without reloading once. Now the skill itself, it's pretty balanced, but if I were to give my little nugget of feedback, I would say removing the aiming down the sight requirement would probably be the best move, since in some situations it can be a little annoying to play around. Lock and Loaded looks pretty fun. The only issue with the skill, it's content really. They themselves said it on the blog post that they will be adding more secondaries, so this skill can be more fun. to use, but personally I do believe this skill will be more fun if we add a little something more western, you know? I was gonna talk about the actual ammo funnel changes, but since they got reverted, I think it's gonna be pretty useless. At this point at least. But the change itself would have a lot of full auto weapons, with most 30 rounders getting 43% reload speed increase with combat reload. Assuming you hit all your shots really. But it wouldn't be a bad skill to have. I think I've covered most of the things I wanted to talk about in this video when it comes to the balancing approach of this game. I was gonna talk about the Mio situation, but quite honestly I just think it's stupid and really childish from both sides of this whole situation going on. You know, that's the reason why I don't have a Twitter or X or whatever branding you wanna call it. So without being said, I'll see you in the next one.